Welcome into another Locked On NBA Insider Report. I'm your host, Kainani Stevens, joined by Antonio Daniels, XM Sirius radio host, and our insider, of course, on all things NBA. We're nearing the end of the regular season, so of course we got to talk playoffs now. There's a whole lot of teams in the mix right now. We're going to check out things in the Eastern Conference right now. At different points in the season, it felt like different teams had this totally locked up. Who is the hottest team right now, according to Antonio?
Well, I think the hottest team right now is the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Obviously, before losing yesterday, they had won 22 of their last 25 or 24 of their last 27. But now you got to take into consideration the loss of Robert Williams. So, yes, they were hot. They were peaking at the right time of the season. But when you lose someone of Robert Williams' impact, that hurts. No, there's nothing more important heading into the postseason than being whole and healthy. And when you lose someone that is bringing to the table what he brings to the table, not just with the points and the rebounds, but also the 2.2 blocks per game, there's a reason that they're the top defensive team in the league. And you remove him from the equation, it changes things. So, yes, they were the hottest team, but heading into the postseason, being without Robert Williams will really hurt the Boston Celtics.
Being healthy is everything. Having all of your best players is really important come postseason time. The Nets are kind of getting everything back together right around what seems like a good time for them. They don't know where they're going to be in the seeding in this, right? They're dealing with this play-in tournament. How dangerous can they be?
Kainani, I'll tell you this. For me, they're the most dangerous team in the Eastern Conference because I feel like they have the most skilled duo. When you talk about Kevin Durant, one of the best to ever touch the floor, and Kyrie Irving, arguably the most skilled guard to ever play the game. And then you put Ben Simmons in that mix, a healthy mentally and physically Ben Simmons, who's ready to go. I think that changes the whole equation. For me, it doesn't matter where Brooklyn lands. You know, as far as the play-in tournament or in the playoffs or whatever it may be, I think they are the most dangerous team heading into the postseason because of the amount of firepower they have. Now you add in a Seth Curry, you add in a Patty Mills, the experience of LaMarcus Aldridge, bring over Andre Drummond. So now you have another big body in the middle to throw at guys like Joel Embiid. Listen, I know what the stats say. I know what the standings say. It says, you got to look at Boston and you have to look at Philly and you got to look at Milwaukee. For me, and from the eye test and what I've seen from Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and now a fully engaged Kyrie Irving because now he can play in home games, I got to go with Brooklyn.
From what you mentioned, it sounds a lot like that Laker team, of course, where they couldn't get things together in the regular season, but come postseason, they were just dominant. So the Nets certainly have that firepower. We've seen that they're going to have a difficult road. What does that mean for those top three seeds? Because you don't want to face Brooklyn in the first round if you don't have to, right?
Right. You don't want to, but sometimes it's out of your control. Like what no one anticipated with this global pandemic was Kyrie Irving being unavailable for the first half of the season and being half available for the next half of the season. So it's not like you don't really play at this point of the season for who you would like to play. Look, no one thought Brooklyn would be where they are right now. No one anticipated this coming. No one knew that James Harden would be traded out of Brooklyn midway through the season. No one knew these things. So at this point in the season, it is what it is. No one expected Brooklyn to be to this point, but the thing you're not going to do, especially with only a little bit less than 2 weeks remaining in the season, you're not going to start throwing games to avoid Brooklyn. If you have to meet Brooklyn first round because that's what the schedule gods and that's how they made it, so be it. It is what it is at this point in the season.
Who matches up best against Brooklyn right now that could see them in the first couple of seeds? Is it Boston? Is it the defending champs? Or do you think it might be Miami that might – because those are kind of –
You know what? Yeah, I completely forgot about Miami. I haven't even spoken about Miami
I
yet.
feel like that you did too.
Yeah, so excuse me for the disrespect. Excuse me for the disrespect, Heat Nation, Heat culture. But I guess for me, I would say Miami. Okay. Miami will match up the best with Brooklyn because they have a Jimmy Butler, they have a Bam Adebayo, they have a defensive team with great defensive schemes and also defensive versatility. Okay. And when you're playing against a team like Brooklyn, there's certain things you can't do about Kyrie Irving. There's certain things that you can't do about Kevin Durant. But Eric Spoelstra's been down this road before. Oh, yeah. We've seen him game plan for guys like this before. You can look back last year with this Milwaukee Bucks team. The thing that I don't like is they don't have PJ Tucker anymore. PJ Tucker did a fantastic job on Kevin Durant last year. You know where PJ Tucker is now? He's in Miami. So now you have different bodies and different schemes to throw at the likes of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
So we don't have a ton of answers right now, but I think matchups are going to be really key come this postseason. So, Antonio, we thank you for your wisdom as always, and we'll, of course, check in at playoff time as well. I'm Kainani Stevens. This has been Locked On NBA.